What is up, SmackNPie here, and welcome back to Dark Deception video. Today, it is a special video because we are discussing one of the biggest teasers, theories related to Chapter 4, and I am more than excited to talk about it now. I am sorry, I apologize for late video for this. This should have been out 2 days ago, but you guys know my condition for eye. Anyway, without wasting any more time, let's begin. Alright, so 3 days ago, Vince Livings, the creator of Dark Deception and several other games, tweeted about an upcoming merch design related to Joy Joy Gang, and it wasn't any less significant. He said on Twitter, and I quote, "Our first Joy Joy Gang merch design is coming. It might alter some theories," which is big considering the fact that the last teaser related to merch, we made an entire video on it talking about how theoretically it has connections to ABC, Nurse 1 to be exact. Now, they themselves are confirming that that merch design isn't exactly a waste of time, because not only it's going to be on merchandise, but also there are the pieces to the puzzle that we're all trying to solve. And most importantly, he said, quote, "It might alter some theories." Alter, he said. So not only he knows that there are so many wrong theories out there for Joy Joy Gang, which means most of us were wrong, and secondly, that this teaser will answer or explain at the very least some of that. Now, before we get to the design itself, I would like to point out this teaser right here. Now, which conclusion we've come to the last time. And warning, these are all my theories, not facts, even though most of the time I'm correct anyways. This teaser, which is actually kitchen related, we talked about how this is an in-game area, because if you zoom in, you can see there are other areas connected to this, from where we'll collect soul shards, and most importantly, this area or kitchen area has some mechanics related to it that's going to play a very important role in gameplay. Now, what do we believe about the location of Joy Joy Gang? Let me know in the comments. Write 3 possible locations of where do you think this level is going to play in. We have contenders such as pizzeria, restaurants, underground facilities, and maybe all of them. However, the design I'm about to show you, well, it's ruining our plan and whole theory. Heck, it's turning it all upside down. Let's take a look. Now, I have to warn you guys because this could get very intense. Recently, Dark Deception official Twitter account posted first of its kind small teaser for Joy Joy Gang. Let's take a look, and by the way, it had no audio. I took the liberty to tweak it a little bit with some samples to see if it fits. Alright then, whilst that was happening, the caption to this was, "Have a joy day." Now, if you're asking for my reaction, thank you very much. I already have one black red eye. Don't want the other to look the same. But there are 2 images basically. One where they all look happy, yay, come on kids, have some fun, do your thing, get that good stuff. But the other one shows the real deal, the real side of things. Joy, land, you say. Now, I want you all to shift your focus and attention from here to another indie game that we all love, and that is Bendy and the Ink Machine. Now, in that game, we had the mastermind. Spoilers alert, by the way, Joey Drew, the man who owned the studio, the boss who hired all these artists, voiceovers, management team, including main character Henry, the man we play as in the game. One of the most important things we learned in the game was Joey's plan of opening a brand new theme park, Bendyland. Now, he had his vision of this being one of the top places for kids and families to come and enjoy, so that he can basically earn more money. He's had everything he wanted to make Bendyland a success, starting from Bertram Piedmont, who basically worked and created Bendyland in the first place on Joey's request, by the way, and also was a manager of Joey Drew Studios. They had conflict, I don't want to get into that, to literal creatures of Bendy cartoons that he was planning to make in real life, so he wouldn't have to make animatronics or masked creatures, because then there will be real creatures from his cartoon directly roaming around in his amusement park, entertaining kids and families with all the rides and the fun stuff. That was his plan to stand out in the competition, to get all of that good stuff investors, so that they can pour money into this project, so he can then pour these creatures to kids and families, so that they can pour money into his bank account. Clean plan, isn't it? Well, that did not work out whatsoever, but that was an interesting take on theme parks. Now, keeping that in mind, let's divert our attention to something that we're all aware of. Five Nights at Freddy's. Yeah, I know, it's not that bad, trust me. So I want you basically to focus on one game from the entire series, and that is Sister Location. Sister Location basically basically had a very interesting design to it. A neat concept, by the way, from an entire underground facility to learning about taking animatronics programming to the next level. It connects two of the most important points in FNAF timeline: animatronics Soul and William using it to get investors. But unlike Joey, William had big plans. His intent and motives were far different and evil from that of Joey. Kind of similar approach? Sure. Joey's creatures with Bendyland and William's plan with animatronics coming to life whilst making pizzeria to lure kids in. These both sound evil, although one being more evil than the other and in same category. Joy Gang, on the other hand, however, is a unique study. See, unlike Joey and William, Joy Gang has no upper authority that could control them because they are the authority themselves. Sure, Malik might be an interesting case, but that's not solely his focus. Joy Gang are a liability to Duggan Beers. Once dealt with, it wouldn't matter for a single cent or a second who they are, what they are, and yet even all of that, they still have an important history with Doug's past. See, the reason I'm trying to make all this sound like it is now is quite simple. After the reveal of Joy Land, it is no longer relevant who's controlling them. Joey saw a failure in his plan of Bendyland. Yes, Joey Drew saw a failure in his plan of Bendyland. William saw his creations haunt him back in hell with the one he shouldn't have killed in Ultimate Custom Night. They both had things to lose. That is why, well, that's debatable. But Bendy's creatures, Joey's creatures, Alice, Boris, Henry, these characters were driven by rage, anger, disappointment, betrayal, whilst FNAF creatures were driven by injustice, revenge, redemption. These are understandable characteristics, extensive approaches, behaviors that you would understand a character would take to do whatever they're doing. But Joy Gang, on the other hand, nah. They have no purpose or anything in their possession to lose, hence making Joy Gang not only different from everyone else, but also the toughest, the deadliest, because when you put someone who has nothing to lose against someone who never had anything to begin with, you get a lose-lose situation. That's where we are. Now, with the psychology part out of the way, let's discuss something else that I know most of you are waiting for. And before we go there, maybe in the future we'll cover more FNAF and Bendy content on the channel. Remember when I said there are 2 images? Forget that. There are 3 now. Now, I might be wrong in saying it specifically pizzeria or restaurant, but kitchen possibility is still intact. Don't worry, I'll find a way to explain that in connection to this. But the new teaser just revealed its location, and I don't think it's hard to decode. Firstly, we can see all happy characters. Penny the Chicken being Penny the Chicken. Lucky being the smartest and being lucky to be in front. And of course, freaking Hangry being freaking hangry, doing his thing. Nothing out of the ordinary, right? Well, let's analyze it a bit more. We have these Oreo fonts suggesting it to be even more kid-friendly, and possibly this shows that first zone might look a bit lighthearted. And also, while I'm writing this, just imagine a Lucky character roaming around like, no thank you, sir. But in the back of the teaser, if you zoom in, you can see what seems to be a giant entrance to some sort of theme park, and it looks quite Disney-ish. Those, ladies and gentlemen, are some real nightmare stuff. Trust me, if you want to know how, just watch Super Horror Bros videos on Disneyland. No thank you, I'm good. But this is showing even more further that the plans for Joy Gang are quite big. They're not your usual monsters with the usual locations. No, you see, like Crazy Carnival and huge location of theirs, this is going to be even more different and massive. Because in the second image, things go red. And look at Penny's eyes. Imagine this chasing you. I'm done. Like, would you still hug them? I mean, I might hug Penny. No. I wouldn't. If you're still saying yes, you got problems, not me. Forget my obsession with Penny the Chicken. Let's talk about your obsession with Hangry the Pig. Who even likes Hangry the Pig? Come on. Even me with black red eye understands Penny, but not Hangry. If you can understand Hangry, let me know your theories, please. If anyone of you out there knows his backstory, or think you know his backstory, or how I shouldn't be roasting this person, let me know in the comments. Do me a favor. But that's not all. Dark Deception then posted another image of what seems to be even more clearer as to what I'm trying to say. In credits to K2 Rocker, also known as Ken2, we can see Joy Gang in their original form with red eyes and all of that stuff, but even with more clear illustration of amusement park in the background, and what's more interesting is that it's on fire. Yes, fire. And I know this is an art, might have nothing to do with the actual level of location, but I think I got everything I needed to know. Now, it's time to execute my final theory for this. Now, after learning all of that, we come to the conclusion that Joy Joy Gang will be massive. There might be more than 2 zones. Debatable, but regardless, we have ourselves amusement park, which will have rides, toys, eating areas, all of that good stuff you have, and these creatures, Joy Joy Gang, will be roaming around to greet you and make sure that you're having fun there or here. It depends. Now, zone 1 is what I believe will be outside theme park, like main area where kids can play, talk to creatures, eat, and have fun, just like outside Crazy Carnival's area. And zone 2 is where things would get aggressive. This teaser of Lucky from a very while ago, yeah, it feels like decade now, that showed we are in some sort of underground facility, to this teaser that showed the metaphor of kitchen's heat indicates that zone 2 will be underground. When we see the real stuff, what's really going on behind the scenes, or in this case, under the scenes. Yeah, that was horrible. All the horror and terrifying things, just like Crazy Carnival, but more extra. With, listen to this, with us in the end escaping the whole underground, as well as theme / amusement park, whilst it's on fire. Which is why the tweet of heat comes in. If you can't take the heat, get out of the kitchen. Get out of there, because it is on fire. Literally. We'll escape the underground first, then have Malik chasing us all the way to the exit. Can you imagine all of this good stuff? I can. And if what I believe would happen and end up being happening, guess what? We are in it for a unique and innovative yet terrifying ride in this park, and that was an intentional pun. Call it cringe, I don't care, because I just made my point now. Glowstick Entertainment also confirmed a huge thing, which I want to talk about, what we will in a later video. And also, I cannot wait to play Agatha's level. For that, ladies and gentlemen, you'll have to subscribe with the notifications on. Stay joy, because it is Joy Day. I'll see you soon.